Good morning, friends. Yesterday we solved a problem on lift and a person standing on a weighing scale. In the last step, there was an error. I would like to rectify that error. Last step. What happens when the lift and the entire system starts falling freely under the gravity? What is the reading shown by the weighing scale? What is the weight of the person standing on the weighing scale? So it is quite simple. Only that last part I am showing here. Suppose this is the lift and this is the person standing on the weighing scale, and the entire lift is falling down with an acceleration equal to g. Freely falling means the body, when it is falling freely, free fall motion, its acceleration is acceleration due to gravity. So if you draw the free body diagram, then the weight of the person is vertically downwards, that is W equal to mg, and the reaction is vertically upwards. The reading of the weighing scale is nothing but the reaction force, normal reaction force. That's what we need to calculate. Now you write the equation for net force. When the system is under free fall, with acceleration A equal to g, then write the equation for net force. Net force, look at this, net force must be M into A. M into A is equal to W minus R from the diagram. W minus R. So we want to find out R. Therefore R is equal to, if you take this R this side and MA this side, then it becomes W minus MA. But what is A? A is equal to G. Therefore, you just substitute what is W. W is mg, and A is also G, so it becomes mg. Mg minus mg becomes 0. So you can write in general R is equal to M into G minus G. So thus it becomes 0. So since the reaction force is 0, the weighing scale doesn't show any reading at all. So weighing scale shows zero pointer reading, that is zero deflection. And this is the case what is called as weightlessness. This is what we call as anything which is under free fall, we say that it is said to be weightlessness. There is no weight being exerted on anything. So this is what we concluded. So I took A equal to minus G. It's error. It's not minus G. You should take A equal to G itself. Okay. Let us solve similar problem. Now earlier it is problem of a man. Now we are going to solve problem on a monkey. Monkey is climbing up a rope, and the mass of monkey is 40 kg and it is climbing up a rope, and the rope is having certain strength. The strength of the rope is 600 Newton, means until one exerts a force of 600 Newton and more than 600 Newton, the rope will not break. After 600 Newton, if the weight is exerted more than 600 Newton, the rope is going to cut. Okay, we are going to solve the problem of monkey. Okay, look at the problem. A monkey of mass 40 kg climbs up. Monkey of mass 40 kg climbs on a rope which can withstand a maximum tension of 600 Newton. This is a schematic diagram of rope, and this is the support, and this is your monkey. And climbing up in the first case. Okay. The tension that rope can withstand is 600 Newton. If the tension is more than 600 Newton, the rope is going to cut, it is going to break. So in which case will the rope break? When the monkey, first case, climbs up with uniform speed of 5 meters per second. Second, when the monkey climbs down with uniform acceleration of 4 meters per second square. The third case, when the monkey again climbs up with an uniform acceleration of 6 meters per second square. Right? And the last case is what happens when the monkey slips and falls down nearly freely under gravity. Monkey is falling down nearly freely under gravity. What happens to the rope? So in each case you need to calculate tension, and if the tension is greater than 600 Newton, the rope is going to cut. That you have to find out. So first case, when the monkey climbs up with a uniform speed of 5 meters per second. So this is the schematic diagram. So I will draw now the free body diagram. Just represent this as a point body, and tension in the rope will be vertically upward towards the support, and weight of the body is vertically downwards, and the movement of the monkey is vertically upward with uniform speed of 5 meters per second. If uniform speed is of 5 meters per second, then what is acceleration? Acceleration is 0. So no net force. So net force in the first case is 0. So A, when climbs up with uniform speed, V equal to 5 meters per second. Acceleration is 0. When there is no change in speed, acceleration is 0. Therefore, net force in the first case, net force becomes 0. So what is the equation for net force? Net force F is equal to T minus W. When it is moving up, let us take T first and W next. So net force equal to T minus W. Net force is 0. Therefore, T minus W is equal to net force. This implies T is equal to W. Tension in the rope is equal to weight of the monkey. Weight of the monkey is calculated as M into G. So let us take G as 10. So mass of monkey is 40, and acceleration due to gravity, if you take 10 meters per second square, then tension T becomes 400 Newton. So in the first case, the rope doesn't cut. So in the first case, rope does not break. Similarly, let us calculate the second case. When the monkey starts climbing down, second one, when the monkey climbs down with uniform acceleration, A equal to, second case, 4 meters per second square. 4 meters per second square. Then I will now draw only the free body diagram. Free body diagram is now should be drawn like this. Now W must be taken greater magnitude, and tension T must be taken of lower magnitude, because the net force is acting vertically downwards with certain acceleration A equal to 4 meters per second square. So meter per second square. So this is the free body diagram, wherein weight is greater than tension. Now we need to calculate tension in the rope. Therefore, net force using the Newton's second law, net force is equal to W minus T, because it is climbing down now, moving down. So net force is M into A. where m is mass of the monkey and a is the acceleration with which it is climbing down. Here it is given, neglect the mass of the rope. Mass of the rope is neglected, ignored. So m into a is equal to w. W is mg minus t. We need to calculate tension. Therefore, from this equation, tension T equal to mg minus ma, that is m into g minus a. Just substitute the values. Therefore, T becomes equal to mass of monkey 40 kg, acceleration due to gravity 10 minus acceleration with which it is climbing down 4 meter per second square. So 10 minus 4 becomes 6. So it becomes 40 into 6. Therefore, now tension becomes equal to 4 6 are 24. 240 Newton. So which is less than the maximum tension that it can withstand. Maximum tension that it can withstand is 600 Newton. Therefore, again in the second case, rope is safe. Rope is safe means rope does not break. So now let us see the third case. I think in the third case rope is going to break. Right? Let us see the third case. Third case. When monkey climbs up with acceleration a equal to 6 meter per second square. Draw the free body diagram. Now tension must be greater because it is not climbing up. Tension must be of a greater magnitude than the weight. So this should be of longer length than the weight. The net acceleration is vertical upward with 6 meter per second square. So now write the equation for net force. Net force again equal to T minus W. T must be greater than weight. Then only it can move upward. Therefore T minus W. So this implies m A is equal to T minus mg. So take this minus mg this side. This implies T is equal to ma plus mg, that is m into bracket g plus a. Now substitute the value of g and a. So m is 40, 10 plus 6, 16. So tension T becomes 16 4s are 640. 16 4s are 64 into 10 becomes 640 Newton. So this 640 Newton is greater than the strength, maximum tension that the rope withstands. Maximum tension that the rope can withstand is 600 Newton. Therefore, in this third case, the rope cuts. The rope cuts and the system, the monkey as well as the remaining part of the rope fall down. Now the fourth case is, what happens when the monkey slips, almost climbs down with the acceleration equal to acceleration due to gravity, when the monkey is falling freely? When monkey climbs down freely under gravity, freely under gravity means free fall motion. In this case, A becomes equal to G. Again draw the free body diagram. Free body diagram is very important. Now this is tension and this is the weight. Let us draw it. Right? And now it is falling down with an acceleration A equal to G. So this diagram is important. Once you draw the proper free body diagram, then the equation becomes simple. There will be no error. So now net force equal to W minus T. Once you write this equation, there is no confusion. M into A equal to M into G minus T. So we need to calculate a T, right? So take this T this side, MA the other side. Therefore, T is equal to mg minus MA. Just similar problem of a weight. It is similar problem of a lift and a man. Same problem. So that becomes m into G minus A. So A is equal to G. Here A is equal to G. Just substitute. So it becomes m into G minus G. Therefore, tension T in the rope becomes 0. G minus G becomes 0. Therefore, tension T in the rope becomes 0. So this is free fall. So the monkey doesn't exert any force on the tension at all, or any force on the rope at all. Therefore, it is an example of again free fall as well as weightlessness. Condition of weightlessness. So we are going to discuss about weightlessness later when we talk about gravity, gravitational force, motion under gravitational force. So we are going to learn gravitation topic in detail. There we are going to learn weightlessness in detail again. Okay, let us solve one more problem, that is connected mass problem. As we have solved yesterday one connected mass problem, let us solve one more problem on connected mass system. Okay, let us see one more connected mass problem. Two masses 8 kg and 12 kg are connected at the ends of a light inextensible string. This is a light inextensible string. These two are connected at the ends of that light inextensible string that goes over a frictionless pulley. This string goes over a frictionless pulley. This is the frictionless pulley. Find the acceleration of the masses and tension in the string. You are asked to find out two things. One is acceleration and another one is tension in the string. When the masses are released, when the masses are just released, you are asked to find out what is the acceleration and what is the tension in the string. So this is let us say m2 of mass 12 kg and this is m1 of mass 8 kg. This is of mass 8 kg, m1 and m2. Okay. Now if you draw free body diagram here itself, so this represents its weight m1g, that is equal to if you take g equal to 10 meter per second square, then m1g becomes 80 Newton. 80 Newton. And here the tension will be acting upwards. Tension T is the vector acting towards the pulley. And here is m2. This is a heavier mass, 12 kg. And again let me draw the free body diagram. So this represents the weight m2g, that's equal to 120 Newton. 12 into 10, 120 Newton. And the tension in this case will be again towards the pulley. So tension in both the cases will be same. And the connected mass accelerates downwards because m2 being heavier, it pulls the lighter mass 8 kg upwards. So m2 goes downwards, m1 goes upwards. So this is how one can draw the free body diagram. So the common acceleration of these connected masses is A. Let us say A is the common acceleration. So A is acting vertically downwards. Here for this m1, A is acting vertically upwards. So with this notation and free body diagram, now we can solve for acceleration as well as tension. So let us solve it for first for mass m1, right? So before we, yes, for mass m1, what is the equation? Here M1 is 8 kg, M2 is 12 kg. So 12 kg being more heavy, so it pulls down. So M2 being greater than M1, M2 pulls down the string and M1 goes up the string. Goes up the string as shown. Now let us apply for the first mass M1 free body diagram. Refer this free body diagram. Net force according to Newton's second law. Net force on M1. Net force on M1 is equal to M1 into A. Fine. Net force on M1 is equal to M1 into A is equal to T minus M1G. T minus M1G. So here tension must be greater than the weight because the system is going up, mass is going up. T minus M1G. Right? This becomes the first equation. You can call this one as first equation. Now net force on M2 in the same way. Net force on M2. Net force on M2 can also be written in the same way. Here weight M2G must be greater than tension. So net force, if you call it as M2 into A as the net force, so M2A is equal to weight must be greater than the tension. So M2G minus tension. Call this equation number 2. Now solving these equations simultaneously, we will be able to get the equation for A. So adding these two equations, when you just add these two equations, what do you get? M1 plus M2, M1 plus M2 into A is equal to, see here, T cancels with T, you will be left with M2G minus M1G. Therefore, I can write as M2 minus M1G. M2 minus M1 into G. Therefore, acceleration, that is the first thing we are asked to find out. Acceleration A is equal to, right? M2 minus M1 divided by M2 plus M1 into G. Just you take this M1 plus M2 to the right hand side, it goes to the denominator. So this becomes the important equation number 3. Now just substitute the values, you will get the value of acceleration A. 12 minus 8 divided by 12 plus 8 into G. Let us take 10 meter per second square. 12 minus 8 becomes 4. 4 divided by 20 into 10. So 0 cancels, you are left with 2 meter per second square. So the net acceleration is 2 meter per second square. Now the next question is to calculate tension T. Just substitute this value of A in equation 2. Substituting 3. So you can solve here. Substituting equation 3 in equation 2. You can even substitute equation 1 also, so that we can solve it for T. So A is M2 minus M1 divided by M2 plus M1 into G. Substituting this equation number 2. Equation number 2. So we get T equal to, take this M2 here this side. Yes. T equal to M2G minus M2A. M2G minus M2A. So out m2 common, m2 into g minus a. Now substitute the value of a. So that becomes m2 into bracket g minus, what is a? m2 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m2. Into g. So into g. So again we can take out g common and simplify. Therefore p becomes m2. We take out g common, becomes m2 into g into bracket. Now simplify. m2 plus m1 minus m2 minus of minus becomes plus m1 divided by m2 plus m1. Now you see m2 cancels with m2. You are left with m1 plus m1 2m1. Therefore p becomes equal to 2 times m1 into m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into g. So we got generalized equation for such connected mass problem. We got generalized equation for connected mass problem 2m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So now if we just substitute the value of m1 and m2, we get the result. So 2 into 8 into 12 divided by 8 plus 12 into 10. So 12 plus 8 becomes 20. So 1 0 cancels, 2 also cancels. Therefore you are left with 8 into 12. So p becomes equal to 2 cancels and the 0 0 cancels. 12 into 8 becomes 96 Newton. So 96 Newton is the tension in the string. Tension in the rope. In the string. This is how we need to solve for connected mass problems. There are various types of such connected mass problems. You must be able to solve with such free body diagrams. You must practice more and more problems. Then it becomes simple. Okay. Okay, now I am giving you these two problems to try yourself. These two problems are again the application of Newton's second law and Newton's third law and free body diagram. An elevator or a lift weighs 3000 kg. What is acceleration when the tension in the supporting cable is 33,000 Newton? When the lift is moving up or moving down, moving up let us say. What is the acceleration when the tension in the supporting cable is 33,000 Newton? Take g equal to 9.8 meter per second square. This is very simple problem. Now second problem, a helicopter of mass 1000 kg rises with a vertical acceleration of 15 meter per second square. The crew and the passengers, crew means the pilots, they are called as crew. The crew and the passengers weigh 300 kg. Total mass of a crew and passengers is 300 kg and that of helicopter is 1000 kg. Right. Give the magnitude and direction of the following. The force on the floor by the crew and passengers, first case. Second one, action of rotor of helicopter on the surrounding air. When the rotor rotates, it exerts pressure, it exerts force on the surrounding air. So that becomes the action. The reaction is on the helicopter. The helicopter takes the upward lift. The force on the helicopter due to the surrounding air. That is, the first one is action, second one is reaction. So for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Newton's third law. So Newton's second law as well as Newton's third law with free body diagrams, you will be able to solve these problems. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.